Hello everyone. I'm still getting set up here. Let's see.
I started working at the barbershop and realized I don't have any insurance. This is not good. Through healthcare.gov, I was able to find the right plan anytime something
Where's
comes
my
up.
volume?
I'm covered. They literally had everything that I needed in one spot.
Healthcare.gov. Enroll by December 15th.
Oh no, wrong way. Wrong way. There it goes. Okay, I am like out of sorts today. Heather is not going to be with us because she is definitely not feeling good today. Hi, Mary. You're about to lose. Heather wins. I knew it. I knew it. So, hi, Misty. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Barbara. Jen. We're on our own tonight. Heather's not feeling well. Hi, Debbie. But on the plus side, we get to go vertical. And that means we won't have a bunch of trolls. Hi, Melody, Diane, Brooke, another Debbie, Trish, Front Porch Light, Nadine, Kathy. So, can you guys guess what we're going to make tonight? Hi, Margaret. Hi, Lena. Do you have any clue what it's going to be? Hi, Sharon and Deanna and Tina. Just trying to get this up a little bit higher. Swings. You got it. Okay, hi, Julie. Yes, we are going to make swings because I am wiped out of swings. So, I've got all these made up and they all need the swing part. So, oh, I just dropped something. So there's 23 of them in there. I have 5 mallards, 5 yellow chicks or ducks, whatever you want to call them, 5 otters, 5 penguins, and 3 bees. And then I was like, okay, I'm bored. Let's move on to something else. That was just a lot. So, hi, Joy. Yeah, no snake, Debbie. We're gonna just do like this part of the swing to go on with my little critters. So I have 2 made still from the last time that I did it. So we only need 21 more for what I already have made. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like I think the mallards and the yellow chicks Saturday night. And then Sunday after, I did my video and everything and did all the editing, got that uploaded. I worked on the otters, which I was absolutely not into. Took me forever, it felt like. And then after the 5 otters were done, I switched to the penguins, and then I switched to the bees. And then I'm like, okay, it's time to do something different. When's the next market? That is this coming Friday. But it's not a busy market. It's, the one I suffered through all summer, hoping it would be good for season, and so far it hasn't proved to be that. But I don't need to take all of these to that one, because that one doesn't have near the crowd of people as last Friday. You got your eye tool, and you love it. Oh, isn't that thing awesome? That is like the best eye tool. While watching this live, working on a baby blanket for the American Cancer Society knit. every day in November to raise awareness and money. That's cool. That's a good cause. So, yeah, I'm not like super worried about having a bunch made for this upcoming market because I have plenty. Hi, Joe. You know, I have plenty of stuff for that. Hi, Lauren. But, you know, I have to be ready for the ones after that. But I don't know, you know, it could prove me wrong and it could be a great market this Friday. There's no telling with that place. Hi, Colleen. No telling. So what is, hi, Kaylee. What is everyone working on tonight? You had to go and come back in. You didn't have a chat box? That's weird. YouTube's been weird lately. I just got a ad that took my chat away. Hi, Dee from UK. It's late there, isn't it? Like 1 o'clock in the morning or something? Your daughter wants you to drop your project and do something for her. That sounds about right. You're working on Green Frog Crochet's Hatching Panda. Kathy's doing a very large turtle. Quilted Cupcake is doing a Spluter unicorn. See, I still have my unicorn. Maybe it's my colors. Hi, Petra. You're working on another baby dragon from Snuggle Beans. Yep, she has great patterns. I love her patterns. At 12 a.m.? Yeah, I wasn't too far off. Myrtles, how to market this weekend and sold over 2,000. Nice. Nice. It's more than all your markets put together last year. You had a good spot to go to then. That's awesome. Using Feels Like Bliss yarn for a cat. Very soft. That's that real fluffy stuff, right? You're knitting slippers. Angelina Ballerina is using Nibbles pattern. Yep. You know which one's a good one for that? If you can deal with the shape of the head, is Oak and Marlowe's mouse with the tutu. That one's like pretty cool for that one. Mary's making swings. Making ducks to replenish your inventory after last week's craft fair. What kind of ducks? You working on a dinner? Dinner's good. A scarf and just finished a pot with sunflower coasters. Cool. You need to start getting new patterns and trying new things. I feel like I've had the same stuff forever and need a new variety. I feel like that all the time. I am constantly trying new patterns. And then you find the ones that you like that actually sell well and you'll stick with them for a while. And then it's like, all right, I'm bored. I want to do something else. You just did the owl from Mom Stitchetti. Got really stuck on the wings. I haven't tried that one. You're working on the Fable collection. That's cool. You love all the dragon patterns, but for some reason, your 70-year-old brain can't make a decent one. Oh, I bet you can, Kathy. The kitties are all over the place now. And they kind of took over Toby's favorite spot, which when he was a kitten, it was underneath the glider rocker in the living room. Because, you know, when people in the house sit down, they have a tendency to scoot the furniture back. So I'd put one of those non-slip little, like a bath mat size rug underneath it so that the chair wouldn't move every time someone sat in it. And so they just get up under there and they like laying on that little rug. So nobody can sit in the chair. The rubber duck style. How much do you sell Fable Friends for? I put mine at 25. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you don't like the skinny mouse. Oh, you don't like how skinny that mouse is? It's got very long legs. I think they're cute, especially when you add the little clothing things to it. It makes those a lot cuter. Working on cats and dogs with beds from Poggy's Place. I have the cat pattern, but I don't have the dog pattern. Are you keeping a kitten? We'll see. We'll see. Hi, Mary Jane. Hi, Julie. You sell the Fable Friends 22 to 25? Well, that's good. Julie, I'm glad you had a great market. You were thinking of selling your Fable collection for 28. If your area can handle 28, go for it. I mean, you can always go down in price if they don't move. Working on another reindeer from Crochet Grove. Such a great pattern, but it takes a minute to make. Hi, Desiree. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Christine. Oh. See, spoiler alert. Both of my nibbles sold at the market this weekend. Yay! Was that when your book fair market? You modified the Della Snuggler to be a bee snuggler. You know who has a really cute bee snuggler that's very easy to do? Is Marcia from Mimi Makes Keepsakes. It is super easy to do, and it's very cute. What do you use to hang your swing items up on your shelves? I use, and Stacy from Stacy Makes pointed me in the direction of them. They are these things that slide onto the shelf like you would hang it in your kitchen cabinet to hold coffee cups. Nope, this was your mega market at a high school. Oh, okay. Made this fluting Highland cow. I sold mine for 35. At 32 with the purse, maybe I'll try at 28. Do I have a favorite from the Fable collection? Not yet. I mean, I like most of them. I'm just don't like, because I don't use the safety eyes, getting the face shaping properly is hard. So I tend to play with the face to try and get some shape to it. So you have to time yourself and weigh the yarn and all that. Book fair is on a small business Saturday. Okay. Will you be doing Tracy's Traveler's Wheel? I am not sure right now because I have 5 more markets between now and December 14th, I think it is. So it's kind of hard to do that extra stuff right now. Do you guys save time to do your Christmas shopping? Everybody's getting crocheted projects this year for me. I shop online. So you'll be making some more pronto. They're good sellers. Let's see, you thought that cow could... I thought that cow could get you more. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, I'm fine with 35 on it. Hi, Avery. but what size hook do you use when you are working with Parfait Chunky? Parfait Chunky, I use a 5mm, sometimes a 4.5, but usually a 5mm. Hi, Diana. Hi, Lori. It is a lot of markets. There were some that I booked them so far in advance, and it was before I knew I was going to be able to get into the really good Friday market. And I mean, I could cancel if I want to lose my money, but I don't want to lose my money. So one of them is like the place I went to the very first time I did a market. I mean, I don't expect to do a whole lot there. If I'm lucky, $400. But because it was my first place I went to, I signed up for it again this year. You made a nibbles last night, making another one here shortly with pink overalls. That's the one I have left, is the one with the pink overalls. So I have to do a couple with like blue and the sage green. The sage green does really well with the steel cut oats. You sell your splitters for $38. So you got lucky. They were out of most of the stock on the Posh Pearl. Only bought 4. Buy one, get one 50% off. Well, you got a deal, Mary. It's okay. I told you I placed a yarn order yesterday. Or was it today? Yesterday, I think. That's another $200 because I'm so low on browns. Again, I should just like order 50 skeins of each color brown. Oh, no, it was not the hotel, Kathy. No. No, this one was, it's a local church. And the first year I did it, they were doing it as a fall festival, and they had a lot of stuff like the bounce houses and petting zoos and stuff like that for the kids. And then whoever those people were didn't want to work with them anymore. So now they just bill it as a Christmas arts and craft fair. So that's why I'm saying I don't expect it to be very good. Which is fine, because if they were all really good, like the Friday market, then I'd be in trouble for inventory, because if I was selling, 300 a month, I'd have a hard time making that back. Let's see. You just ordered over 300 worth of yarn? Yep. I think that was before my time with, yeah, this was like 2023, November of 2023. And I waited until November because I was worried about hurricane season. And then last year I had stuff booked, and of course we had the hurricanes and stuff got canceled. Doing your first ever indoor market on Sunday. I can't remember the last time I had an indoor market. I think it was the hotel, and that has been so long. No tent is great. Yes. Anybody table setup tips? Does anybody have table setup tips other than go vertical? Not used to seeing you live on Monday. Well, usually on Monday, I'm live with Heather, but Heather's not feeling well today. She's extra sick with more than just sinuses. So she's trying to rest. Premier is running a market prep. Is ruining your market prep. I know. They had no, they did have steel cut oats when I placed my order, but they had no caramel. And they didn't have, on the plush, they didn't have the colors that I wanted. They had some of them, but not all of them. And even, I'm trying to remember, it seems like they were out a lot on the like Parfait Chunky, but I don't really want the Parfait Chunky because it's turned into Parfait Skinny. One pink, and they said if he nibbles, it's, is she niblet? Huh? I don't know that one. Let's see. You have a question for anyone who sells online. Should I take photos in the shade or in the sun? Because some people say in the sun and others say in the shade. I would do it in the daytime if it was me, but not necessarily in the direct sunlight. But definitely outside with the daylight. It makes a big difference. Shade for photos on a sunny day, no direct light. Yep. Don't take it in the direct sun because it will wash it out. Yep. So that might be what they mean by do it in the shade. Okay. You have 13 markets coming up. Hopefully you'll be able to have them all well stocked. 13 between now and when? That's a lot. She's probably watching or the replay. Say hello, Heather. I hope you feel better soon. She will at least definitely watch the replay. Have you guys tried Hirschner's for the yarn you need? Once in a while, I'll order from Hirschner's, but when I checked there, they were out of the same colors. In Florida after 3 o'clock, okay, for taking pictures. You saw someone put small wooden blocks in her wooden crates to add shelf in the crate. Yes, and one thing that I noticed that Heather does when she uses the cube shelves, you know, the looks like a grid, she'll put a shelf in the middle of the cube, and it gives her, for those smaller items, she has the extra space, and it's not a bunch of dead air space. I'm sure she just attaches them with zip ties or something. Okay, one. Let's see. You had 2 nibbles, one blue and one pink, and they asked if the girl was Niblet. Could be. Could very well be. Or they just both nibble. Let's see. They were out of a lot of the plush when you looked the other night. Yep. Trying to avoid the cubes if I can. I have a shoe rack that I like. The cubes are nice because you get the sides and you get the top and you have a back, but they are a pain to put together. They're really hard to put together. You like the look of plush, but it's expensive. $17.99 a ball in Australia. Yeah, I'd say that's a little expensive. Just getting like 5 scammers a day on Facebook, so gonna go use Etsy. You still post them on Facebook, but just tell them they're available on Etsy. See, you ordered caramel chenille brights from I don't know who that is, and you got it within a week. You got it yesterday. Do the swings sell well? Swings are always a hit. You guys, do the swings sell well? Ida, did you not see my market recap? The swings do really good. This last time they wiped me out, I had 2 frogs and 2 plants left. Everything else was gone. Finally caught alive again. Hi, Rena. What's my absolute favorite plushie pattern? I don't know that I have one. I mean, I definitely have ones that I can't stand, but I don't know that I have an absolute favorite. You can't sell a single otter on a swing? I don't make them as often as like the yellow chicks or the mallards and the penguins, but they do sell. Now, if I would have had them Friday, I probably would have sold them all. That and more Pokemon. I do like to make dragons, but they take a lot of time, so I have to have like the extra time to really be able to spend on them. Dumb question. Do people buy swings for other things than hanging in their car? Hanging stuff from the rearview mirror is illegal here in Minnesota. Yes, I see the kids walk around with them, hanging them on their arms like a purse. You can make the chain longer and they could wear it around their neck like a necklace, but you don't have to advertise it as a mirror swing. What they do with it after they buy it, that's not your responsibility. Your swinging yellow chicks, mallards, and axolotls sell really well. I do like Myrtle the turtle too. I wouldn't say that I like it the most because, you know, you make some things enough times and after a while it's like, I'm bored. So axolotls on a swing aren't a big mover for me. The best one is the yellow chick. But then I'll take all kinds of different, if it comes out, you know, small, I'll do it in parfait chunky so it'll be smaller and it'll fit on a swing. And I'll put anything on a swing if it looks like it'll work. Yet someone tell you they're buying the swing to hang in their office at work. Why not? Hang it off a kitchen cabinet knob or a doorknob. Bedpost. Yep, Mary. Off a handbag. There you go. Mary's got ideas. Yes. That was awesome that that Rumi sold the first time out. But I need something so that they will stand and not fall over. I was so worried about that a couple of times because it was windy. I took it off display so that it wouldn't end up on the ground. Hang on a doorknob from fans, bedpost, off of handbags. Yeah, I read that one. Oh, Mary, you typed that twice. Besides Pikachu, which Pokemon characters are great sellers for you? They've all been selling. Eevee seems to go quick. I don't know all their names. I know that's really bad, but I don't know all their names. Snorlax does well. Charmander, Seems like Eevee, the one that is, I think it's called Leafeon, and Pikachu are like really good ones. You sold all 3 of them for $100 each or 3 for $100? Doll stands not included on dolls. What's it? Did I miss something? You finally sold a grumpy green guy at my market. For copyright, you can't say Grinch, right? Made on mini octo on a swing and had 2 of the tentacles as the arms holding the rope. Yep. All 3 for 100. You should have went higher than that. What kind of yarn did you use? Get a doll stand to stand roomy on. Can't sell without. Oh, can sell with or without. Well, what size would you get? What size doll stand? You've seen where people have taken a dowel and put it on a flat piece of wood. I don't know that I want to poke a dowel through it. That was too nice to end up with a big hole. I mean, because I was looking at the doll stands on Amazon, and I'm like, well, how do I know what size to get? I mean, it doesn't have to fit around its neck. It could go around its waist, but would it open wide enough not to crush it? I don't know. Let's see. You had 5 different Chonkymon at your market this past weekend. Pikachu went first, then Jengar, Snorlax. Jengar is the easiest to make, though. I like him because he's got that big, cheesy grin. Bernat with 6mm hook. They're about 15 inches tall. Well, I did mine out of Parfait Chunky. You might be using a different pattern. Because mine out of Parfait Chunky with the 5mm hook, doing it yarn under, which makes it smaller than yarn over. Mine was pretty darn close, I want to say, to being like an 18-inch doll. Maybe not quite that big. 15 maybe. It was definitely more than 12 inches. It was like a whole head taller than the Sanderson sisters. Well, when I first showed mine, I was saying, I was thinking like $40 to $45, like, because I don't know. I don't usually do the dolls, even the Sanderson sisters, I only did a couple of times, and I don't usually do them, so I wasn't sure. So my thinking was 40 to 45, putting my feelers out there to see what kind of feedback I would get, because even though I ask people not to comment on pricing, there are still people who do. But I had a few people say you could get it at least $50 for it. I had someone say $80. Then I was talking with Mary, and well, I settled for $65, and the one doll sold for $65. There are stands with flexible heights. Joann's always had them. Of course they did. So say if you had them $65 each, that'd be what? $195? And then you could offer a discount for a set of 3. Your pattern was from Chastity Ann Designs. I find her dolls very hard. That's where the Sanderson sisters were from. And I saw she had those on there, and I was just like, nope, I can't do it. Can't do it. Got a large doll stand from Amazon, costs $10 or 10 euros, really sturdy, 8 to 24 inches. So it adjusted to 8 to 24 inches, or it holds an 8 to a 24-inch doll. $60 each. You should have sold for $180 then. $100 for all 3 was less than the price of 2. It's hard when you're doing something you know, making something that you're not used to having that type of thing to even begin to guess on a price. Especially if it's your first ones, because, you know, the first time you make a pattern always takes the longest because you're trying to figure it out. And then you just don't know where to go. So, you know, and some things, which definitely aren't market friendly, but it's cool to have as, you know, to draw the people into your booth, just take way too long. And if you charged by the hour, they'd be, you know, $400 or $500. So, I mean, there's a lot. You ordered 2 sizes of doll stands from AliExpress for the Mama Made Mini Snugglers. We did put a rubber strap on the bottom of the stand to secure it. The only time that Sue and I did a live together was when we did that market together, and I just happened to be at her house on my Friday night, so I invited her to join in on the live. So I have no answer for that. That would be a good answer. You did the $100 for all 3 because you figured you were giving a discount because they bought all 3. Next time I won't let them go for less than $65 a piece, and $190 for all 3. Well, you could give them better than a $5 discount. I mean, I wouldn't go... I would probably say, if I was doing them at $65 each, I would probably say $175 for all 3. Can I ask who you all might use for card processing? You're having your first market at the end of the month and you want to be able to accept credit cards. Square. And you can, if you order it from Square, you can get the one, or they used to do it, I don't know if they still do, that plugs into your phone. It was free for the first one, and then after that, if you break it or anything, you have to buy the other ones. Or you can pick them up at Walmart for like $10, $12, something like that. Has anyone tried making a loaf cat to look like the derpy tiger? Seems like the model world needs, you don't want to do all the feet. Well, that one that I did, I can't tell you the name of the pattern off the top of my head. It had bobbles for feet. And it was kind of a loaf cat, but not made the same way as a loaf cat. So you also make purses, backpacks, and wallets out of vinyl and leather. When people saw my prices, they would say, I can get it at Walmart cheaper. I told her, enjoy her trip to Wally World. There you go, Kathy. The doll stands were only 3 to 5, but they are very lightweight. Okay. Let's see. Your grandkids asked you to make the 6, 7, so you've been crocheting numbers today. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Jenny. So you don't have any fees because my customers pay a little extra for using the credit card, and that pays for my fees. That is the smart way to do it. I need to find out why my fees seem to be higher than everybody else's fees. I don't know if it's just because I tend to take a lot of cards and not as much cash, but my fees just seem to be out there. I mean, does it give you a choice to say whether it's credit or debit? Like if they paid with debit, is it cheaper than them using their credit card? I've never noticed that come up on there. 1x6 will make a lot of doll stands. Just use skewers you buy at Walmart. It's about the same size as sewing sticks. Did they tell you what it means? Oh, that's 6-7. Nobody knows what it means. Runs as credit and your fees don't seem too bad. Mine seem like they're high for some reason. I don't know if it's something that's like by state, if the fees are different. A lot of places do that, Mary, where they charge you a convenience fee for using your credit card. See, for example, if they use debit, they pay no fee. If they use credit card and the total was 20, they will pay $20.19. That's not enough to cover fees. Because it's, what, 20 or 30 cents, something like that, to process it. And then you have your percentage of the sale. So, yeah, that's not enough to cover all your fees. You're always shocked every time you say what you pay for your fees. I know, me too, every time I see it. If they use debit, the square fee is cheaper. But how do you tell it that it is debit? Just purchased making bacon. Well, thank you. It's an easy one. Maybe it's a state thing. You're in Michigan's. I don't know. Heather has mentioned to me that she thinks most of the people pay with debit. Well, how do you tell the Square system that it is debit, and where are they going to punch in their PIN number? Let's see. Ouch. You made $256. Your Square fees were $9.16. Canadian really likes Square for card processing. Always pay the countries could make a big difference. You know, the American way. Greedy, greedy, greedy. You're looking up what your fees are right now. I don't have anyone put a pin, so it runs as credit, okay? Reward cards usually have a higher fee. Well, I have found that if they're paying with, say, a gift card, that won't work on the tap thing, or even if they slide it in the tap, I have to do it from my phone on the one that plugs into the phone. So the reward cards, they're charging the retailer the money to give to the customer in the reward. That should come out of their percentage. That shouldn't come out of the retailer. That's not right. See, when they insert the card, your phone asks if it is savings or checking, and you give your phone to the customer to put in their PIN. Mine does not do that. Your fees were $52 from a 3K market in Maryland. Okay, I'm going to lose this for a second. I'm going to look again so I don't say the wrong numbers. Okay. Reports for the 7th. Done. Okay, so my card, square, tap, whatever you want to call it, charges were $786, and my fees were $26.71. But if you go to process a card, let me see, I'm just going to punch something in, I'll void it out. I know I don't have one of those. Okay, so it's giving me the option to charge. So I have to hit charge, and then it pulls up a screen. Manual credit card entry, gift card, card on file, invoice, Cash App pay, send payment link, or more. Usually I just hit the charge and then they tap it on the thing and it doesn't do that. Let me see. What's under more? Check, other gift card or certificate, house account, other payment types. Okay. Okay, well, I did learn something new. If I have a gift card, I can do it on here, but I have to punch it in manually. So that means it'll probably cost more. All right, let me void this out. Okay. And get back to here. We're frozen, so now it's like way behind. Get caught up on the chat. What did I miss when I was doing that? Oh my goodness, a lot. Your charges were $174 and the fee was $588. So what does it say your percentage is? Mine says that it's 3.4%. You've had people need to sign and never put in a PIN. I have not had that happen yet either. The only time you have to type in a PIN is if you insert the card. Tap doesn't need it. Okay, so Tap, does it know the difference between credit and debit? The point of sale units know if it's a MasterCard or Visa, so I'm sure it knows the difference in its programming. 2.6% plus 15 cents per swipe, dip or tap is what your fees are. So Southern Gal Crochet says 3.26%, and that's the effective rate. That's your basic transaction fee and then your percentage. It's $587 in Square and $17.50 in fees. Tap is debit. Not necessarily, because I use my credit card as tap. I mean, I go to the store, I tap it. I go to the gas pump, I tap it. And it's just a regular credit card. And I only do that so I get the reward points back. And I can shop for free on Amazon. Let's see, if you're not doing shows for a little while, does Square charge you for their app even if it's not being used? They have a free version and a paid version. And I do the free version. I just couldn't bring myself to pay $89 a month for the paid version. So I did the free trial, and it was nice. They had all the little benefits, but before the free trial was up, I said no. When the payment goes through and it's a credit card, I get a little chime, and then the Visa or MasterCard logo comes up. Sometimes I hear that noise. So what does that mean? That it's a credit card? Because sometimes I hear that, and not on every transaction. I mean, when I worked like at a brick and mortar retail location, if people paid with debit, we only had the transaction fee. There was no percentage of the sale. So you use the free one too? Yeah, you get a lot of information just on the free one. I forgot how many stitches I have. I think it's 30. Yes, it's 30. 2.6 plus 15. Let's see. Most this weekend used tap on your phone. If they didn't have tap, they inserted the card in the square machine, and then it came up on your phone for them to select checking or savings. And are you in the States, Colleen? So if your phone has tap to pay, you can use the Square app with the tap to pay on your phone without the need for the Square piece you plug into your phone. I can do tap on my phone too, but I've always had the reader thing too, because sometimes it just doesn't work. The fees for one day were $581 for 416 in sales. See, that's cheap. So you're in Canada. You guys must have a way different rates than what we do. Mine, I used to just punch in the dollar amount. But last March, I think it was, February or March, I went ahead and put everything in the system because I was curious, what am I really selling? You know, writing it on paper doesn't always cut it. Sometimes you miss something. Try to save the tags, then it's a big mess. So I have it synced up with an inventory. See, this is from your last market. $195 in sales, 2.6 plus 15 cents, 7 payments, 3.5% plus 15, 1 payment. So that, I would say, was type of card, that those two were different. You hold the card behind the phone. It's great when you can get signal on your phone, but not the reader. No need to plug anything in, just indicate tap to pay and hold the card to the back of the phone. Yes, mine didn't work like that. Or they have better laws than the States? Well, probably. You're technically challenged. I can eventually figure things out. You're thinking of getting Square, but you don't know how hard it is to figure out. It wasn't that hard. And I believe it has videos on their website for the basics. And then, of course, there's YouTube for the basics. You can, like, anything you want to learn, you can find on YouTube. You can set up tipping. But if they're not reading a screen, how would they know that? Yeah, Heather's just not feeling well tonight. She, you know, has she's sick to her stomach and has a really bad headache. So she didn't want to, like, try and get through this. Let's see. In your payment screen, it says tap to pay on iPhone. Under that is Square. So if you tap Square, it would go to insert card and questions. And yes, tap knows the difference based on the first 4 numbers. Hi, Tracy. Your Square for your pest control business is 3.5% plus 15%. Let's see, the first 4 digits of the credit card, do you know whether it's Visa or MasterCard? And it's programmed into the system to know that. Debit card numbers are different and grouped differently. Okay. Every time you make one of these swings and hold the swing properly, and I always... Ah, Mary, I was reading that and you retracted it. Yeah, me too. I hope she feels better soon too. Am I even getting close? I've lost count. 10 more. You did it again, Mary. I can't read it if you keep retracting it. See, according to my Square app, if you manually enter the card, the charge is 3.5 plus 15 cents. Tap or swipe is 2.6 plus 15 cents. See, I have never manually entered a credit card number, so it's not that. Well, Crafty Jersey, what do you use to take credit card payment? On a different note, here in New York, there is a commercial saying Florida's insurance premiums have gone down. So how true is that? For what? Home? Car? It's all a lie. It is all a lie. Our insurance premiums are through the freaking roof. We get charged probably more than any state in the country. I don't know about that, Michelle. I don't know about that. The homeowner's insurance went up 20% for this year, and I was a Geico customer for 35 years, and they just got so outrageous on their prices. It used to be when I would call to check around, everyone would say we can't touch their prices. And Allstate beat them by $300 every 6 months. So I switched after 35 years with the same company. Okay. You don't sell, by the way, just advise. Okay. Definitely like the crochet end of the business better than all this bookkeeping nonsense. You got that right. The crochet is definitely more fun than the bookkeeping. You don't take a credit card. Never lost a customer because of it, so not worth the hassle. Okay. That's cool. Mary doesn't take credit cards either. She does what you tell me you do. You do cash, Zelle, and it seems like there was something else that you do, Mary. Oh, there it is. You know, if I get surprised how many people ask if you take cash. It is nice to have, not to have to worry about card. I think you may not realize it, but it might cost you a few sales here and there. Cash is king. Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and Apple Pay. So, wouldn't Apple Pay be the same thing as taking a credit card? Well, hi, Ruru. You have a Venmo QR code that people can scan and pay. Let's see, your Market Sunday said no cash transactions. It's on a college campus. Huh, so you have to take card. Stupid ads. Everyone always asks me that too. You live in a rural area, so most everyone has cash or those apps. Let's see. You just want to have fun crocheting and sell my stuff for fun. So figuring out how to get paid, I have Venmo, PayPal, and Apple Pay. I don't know, I kind of think, and it could just be me, that, you know, PayPal has kind of gone by the wayside because of all the other things like Apple Pay and Cash App, and like it's just not as popular as it used to be. I mean, I don't know. I have it set up for a couple of recurring bills, and that's pretty much it. They downloaded the apps when they really want it. Okay, the people next to me last weekend, and they were cash only. They didn't make their booth fee, and the fee was only $80. Ooh. Hi, Laura. Zelle is a good one to have, and it's direct from your bank account. You know, it's funny because I had Zelle, and I got to use it at one market, and I probably, maybe two markets. I think I took like 6 or 7 payments, and then I switched phone companies because I couldn't get a connection with the service that I had, even though it's the same phone number. And then Zelle said, nope, you're canceled, can't do it. And I'm sure it's security purposes, and I just never like straightened it out. But they canceled it. Cash preferred. Most people are supportive and pay cash if they can. PayPal gets hacked too much. Everything gets hacked too much. Do you know how many warnings I get on my computer about there's been such and such number of breaches, you know, because of all the different supposedly high-tech security stores and what have you that have your information, and then it's all out there. You know, you almost have to change your password every single day to get past that. Let's see. People tend to buy a bit more when you do take cards. Last weekend they were going to take one, and then because of taking the card, they ended up buying 3 things. That's cool. Yeah, they can spend more with it. You don't have Zelle or Cash App in Australia. I'm not sure I trust the whole Cash App thing. I know, Mary, you use that all the time, but I'm not sure that I trust that. I think taking the Apple Pay and cash and the credit cards and debit cards is more than a sufficient choice. Yeah, there's get a lot of scammers on PayPal. Do you guys know how cold it's going to get here tonight? Mary, you got your heat turned on yet? Your 27-year-old asked if I take cash. I said yes, it's vintage, but it still works. Well, you can really throw them off and tell them that you take Federal Reserve notes. They probably won't know what that is. You finally turned off your AC? stores sell your information. Yep. Well, that's part of it. But they better not be selling your password. $29 in East Tennessee. Yeah, we're supposed to get like 30 tonight. It's 60 where you're at, Mary? It's going to get colder. When you wake up in the morning, it's going to be really cold. And that's kind of early, I think, for us for a cold snap, because it's still hurricane season. 31 in Minnesota. Chance of snow tonight. Well, in some areas, it's going to be cold enough that it could snow, but it would never stay on the ground here. You woke up in Fort Worth to 31. Yeah, that's chilly. It will get down to 25 in Georgia, 37 right now in Maryland. My next market, Tracy, is this coming Friday. Saturday for you, but Friday for me. $54 right now, 87 where you're at, Tammy. You're not getting any of this Arctic air that all the Canadians are throwing down to us. They're trying to get rid of it and give it to us. Your high tomorrow is going to be 33, 36 in Mississippi. Yeah, it's going to be a little chilly everywhere. Spoiler alert, I don't have the clothes to dress like that. Did I miss something? A lady asked yesterday if I would give her a discount if she bought 2 items. My reply was no, because I still had to crochet the same number of stitches. There you go. I don't even go that far. I just say no. It is 60 right now in Nova Scotia. It's warmer there than it is here? That's crazy, because y'all pushed all your cold air down here. Canada needs to come get their weather back. Yep. You would prefer to keep it? I hear you. No cold front. Where is here, Tammy? You must be further east. -6 in Ontario. So that's probably what, about 20 degrees in Fahrenheit? Something like that? Arizona? Well, that's not warm, Colleen. I mean, it's better than nothing, but that's not, like, warm. It's 20 here and 2 inches of snow. Oh, no. You Canadians love to share. Arizona, 9 degrees in the UK, which that's Celsius, right? So I have no idea. -1 was 30 degrees. So it's warm there, right? I have no clue. I don't know how that works. I wasn't paying attention in school when they were teaching the conversions for that stuff. Supposed to be 56 overnight. Christine, are we messing up your count with all these numbers I'm calling out? Yeah, I won't do a flea market because of that, Michelle. In Kansas, it was 20 last night, 30 tonight, and 80 for the high tomorrow. Yep, sounds like Florida weather. 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. 16, 17. $89 in Hawaii. That's too hot, Desiree. Too hot. I thought it was always like 78 there. That's just a myth, right? You plan to start selling at markets next year and you're already mad at customers? Oh. Just remember that most of them are really nice and really good. You get the jerk every now and then. And then, of course, you get the people that have to touch everything. But most of them are really nice. Well, anybody that would put $10 on Anchor the Octopus is lost their mind, for sure. That is way too much work. Cost you like double that, if not more, just in supplies. Colleen, you forget the like button because it's not right there in your face. So right now, it says there's 171 people here and 45 people have hit the like button. And that's only because it's like not there like it is when you're watching a video. So like you have to close out your chat and all that to hit the like button. At least that's the way I see it on my screens. Work in healthcare, you're used to talking to patients. You got stories I'm not allowed to tell. Oh, I bet. Hi, Katie. Sold your Anchor the Octopus for $150. Was that the big Anchor, Nadine, or the baby Anchor? The supplies are $40. You sell it for $150 about twice a year. So why in the world? Yeah, exactly. Yes, undo all that work before you sell it for $10. Heck yeah. You're in Minnesota, right outside of Minneapolis. Okay. Well, you guys, I haven't got very many of these done. This is number 3. Oh, boy. I don't want to keep sliding off my hook. You now have 74 likes. Thanks for the reminders. You're welcome. Yeah, it's just not there. What am I making? I am making the swing part of the swings. I made 23 critters. So now I need the swings to put on them. Because I had nothing but 2 frogs and 2 plants left after Friday's market. I'm sure that like 90% of the people who watched the market recap probably guessed that during the live I would be making swings. Shannon, Heather's sick. She's not feeling well. See, Shannon knew I'd be making swings. You're psychic, Shannon. So, Shannon, I have a question for you. If I wanted to take your splooting unicorn and make it a regular horse, should I do anything different to the mane and the tails instead of the little spirals? I mean, I can play games with colors to make it look like a horse, you know, a regular horse. Let's see. You went to college in Fargo. Are you doing Critterlings or Little Critters? I am doing All From Jade's Swinging Animals pack. Oh, you're making little keychain chicks, okay? The otter is so cute on a hot pink swing made out of Posh Pearl. Yeah, I have pink in Big Twist Posh, I think that's what it's called. And it's definitely not a pretty color. 20 more to go. Let's see. You had a girl eating fries and gravy, leaning over your table. When I asked her if she could just step back one step, her mom gave me a dirty look and told her daughter, let's go. Good, let them go. I've had them do that. They come in with all the face paint on, and I flat out tell them, don't rub that on your face. And I've had where the parents take them and leave, and it's like, if you can't figure that out, y'all don't need to be shopping over here. Could you use the hair pieces from the Highland cow pattern for the... You'd leave it as is or do easier hair? Well, that's what I was looking for, easier hair. Something that wouldn't take so long. But using the Highland cow hair pieces is, I think, is a good idea. You made a purse. Oh, stupid ad. I made a purse with the entire from was embroidery, and which took 8 hours. And you were offered $7? Ugh. $16 of Shannon's Fury Splooter. That's a lot. That's a lot. My pattern doesn't have the splooter adjustment or whatever. Modification, that's the word. Other than just the regular way the baby's made. I don't know how to... I mean, I'm sure I could figure it out if I wanted to think about it, but that's why I buy patterns, so I don't have to think. That's crazy. 16, that's a lot. That's a lot of black yarn. She wondered why I was laughing. Oh, that's just rude. That's rude. Not you laughing, but them even offering $7 for something like that. You went on a mini sploot shopping spree. I've sold quite a few of the ones I've made too. But the only one that so far, that I've made more than one is the deer. But when I decided to stop working on these things earlier today, I started on another Highland cow because that's sold. And I just have a couple more pieces to sew on and that's finished. So then I have two that I've made more than one. Well, no, I can't say that either because I did the bear but I also did the Pooh modification. So I made two of those. Then Pooh sold, but I still have the regular bear. Are you seeing Fury in your sleep? Yeah. How much do you sell all your splooters for? 6, 7, 8. It depends on what they are. The easier, more basic ones are, I just raised my price to $35. And the more complicated ones, it depends on what it is, and it is higher. Shannon, did Heather show you hers? Yeah, I didn't use Bernat. Mine is, some of them are out of Parfait Chunky and some of them are out of Brights. I don't have colors that it's soft enough to do a lot of those splooters in the Bernat. I just cannot. My hands would kill me. You sold your tiny nibbles for $25. It was made with Bernat velvet. That had to be teeny tiny. And she did show it to you. She did a good job all on her own. I started to do those Labubu keychains and then I stopped at just the head because it was way too much work for what I could get for a keychain. So I am the wrong person to ask for that. And a lot of the people in the chat would say don't ask me because I underprice on some things. But I'm comfortable with what I get for them, so I'm good with it. Once you get off your pattern buying ban. Do it. Do what? Do what? You have some mini splits designed. Yep. That's cool. You're holding out till after Thanksgiving. Shannon, I thought you were getting a clone that you can get more comfortable at higher prices. Yeah, well, I'm working on it, Mary. first show is at the end of the month, and it will be interesting to see what sells. You don't price too high because you want them to sell, but I'm not giving them away either. Nine, 10, let's see. Sold so much shell, need a clone. Yeah. Yeah, no. A pattern designer myself, I completely understand how long it takes to design a pattern. You usually price $2 higher or so that I would pay, and I usually get surprised. I can always mark them down. Unsold items go into mystery bags. You're finding it so hard to price your stuff. It is hard. Which yarn do you use for your splitting deer? Well, I've done it in Parfait Chunky, and I have done it in Brights, and I think on the deer, that's the only two yarns I've used. Hi, Phyllis. Okay, we're at the halfway point, so I need 30 more, and then we've got 4 done. I call it Parfait Skinny now. So, yeah, you can complain about how skinny Parfait Chunky has gotten. It's been taking Ozempic. Come on. You like the way they're weighed to see the price? Yep. I liked it that way too. You charge $21 an hour plus materials and 30% markup on anything under 15. Goblin is Parfait is still pretty thick. I don't know about that. Well, at least not the ones that I had. See, after selling my $150 Bluey 2 weeks ago, and I observed the girl immediately starting to throw it up in the air over a pile of rocks and dirt, you almost had a freaking heart attack. No concept of money. Until they start paying for things themselves, you are absolutely right, Mary. You are absolutely right. You're getting where your 5mm hook is leaving gaps. Yes. And then I have to make sure that I'm doing yarn under and not yarn over, or I'll get holes, especially where the decreases are. Let's see. Saving the tags so that you know what you need to remake. I've learned so much. You know, I was doing that and then trying to reuse the tags. You see this? See how thick that is? It's no fun picking through that. There has to be a better way to organize it. I know Mary and I have discussed how we could try and make it easier, but it's no. Last time I was like, yeah, I'm just writing new tags. I'm just like, I don't have time to play this game this week because I waited too long. You just learned the invisible decrease, thought that would work, but not so much. Yeah, no. Nope, it doesn't. Himalayan Dolphin Baby is the way to go. Shannon, I had a subscriber send me some yarn, and there was 4, I think, of Himalayan Dolphin Baby in there that I'll finally get to try that yarn. And there was quite a bit of Naughty Pony, and I'll get to try that. And some brights, and then some stuff I've never heard of. So I get to play with all that stuff. I hope I don't like any of it, because I'll need a bigger house. All right, that's 4, and I'm bored. Don't want to make them anymore right now. But I could attach these 2 that I already had made. Let's put one on a mallard since they're yellow. I don't think they'll look right on a yellow duck. Might need to make one. Looking for things to make with Demi. See, I haven't tried that yarn either. You hear Naughty Pony is good. Any person that I've heard talk about it, they say they like it. To me, just feeling it, it feels like velvet yarn, like the nice stuff, Juicy Couture velvet. It has that kind of softness to it. I mean, it feels really cool. I haven't made anything with it yet because, you know, I don't have time to play right now. And when I go to use it, I'll pick something that I want to play with, you know, depending on what colors I have. And it does not say the yardage on the skein. It says it's 100 grams. So I'm going to assume that it's very close to the amount of yardage that Parfait Chunky has, because Parfait Chunky is 100 grams. But the skein looks very small compared to Parfait Chunky, so I don't know. Where do you buy Naughty Pony? I'm not exactly sure. Traveling Pony website, maybe? Well, I know you can get the Himalayan Dolphin Baby on Amazon, but it costs an arm and a leg. I don't know where else you could buy it that it would be reasonably priced. Okay. And you could go on an otter. This room gets very warm when the door is closed. I am shocked. Naughty Pony has its own website. Probably Google it. You never get anything accomplished on lives? Me either. Don't feel bad. You used to buy yours from Hobium yarn years ago when you could get it for $3.50 to $4 a skein to Canada, but prices went way up. So now I purchase on Hobians and random Etsy stores when they have sales. That's just way too much to keep track of, Shannon. Oops, wrong way. Wrong way. But the question would be, where are the Etsy shops getting the Himalayan dolphin baby from? Has anyone tried that yarn from a guy? Oh, isn't that really good yarn? Isn't that what that's called? Zaddy Crafts yarn? A really good chenille or something like that? I have not tried it, but I've heard people say they really like it. See, Tracy's used it. Zaddy Crafts yarn is good too. A bit pricey to get to Canada. Isn't everything pricey to get to Canada? Heather complains about that all the time. The shipping and exchange rates and all that. Hobby Shop sells Himalayan. You mean Hobby Shoppy? Where everybody gets the Elise Voluto from? You're in Australia and you love Zaddies. He is in Australia. Michelle, we are talking about so many different things, we probably can't keep track of what we're talking about. Okay. So I still have a lot more to do, but you know what? I don't want to do any more of these tonight. If I had to, I have enough for the little market that's on Friday, that the ones that I have swings on, I can take those, but I don't want to make any more swings tonight. You love buying yarn. When we vacationed in Nova Scotia, the exchange rate was awesome that even my husband said buy more yarn. So Hobby Shoppy sells the Himalayan dolphin baby, and that's the place that sells the Elise Voluto, correct? You're counting stitches and having senior moments. Oh, gosh. Joe, I can tell you that Basics chenille is not worth $13.90. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it that much. Okay, that's good to know that they sell it. So when I try it, if I like it, I'll know where to get it. But don't you have to order like a lot to get shipping from them? Oh, see, and that's one I've never tried, that Dolce. Never tried that one either. What yarn do I use for the All From Jade swinging animals? For the animals themselves, I use Parfait Skinny. And then the swing part, I am using up my Posh, my mess here. Only because I feel it's a little sturdier than the Parfait Skinny. So, and I like the size that it comes out because it's like, I don't feel like it's going to obstruct somebody's view if it's hanging on their mirror. See? They're not huge. When you win the lottery, you're going to put up yarn stores everywhere for $1 a skein. Your lottery winnings aren't going to last long because you will be wiped out so quick on all your yarn. Number 75 or 100 for free shipping. Okay. That's not too bad, considering I just ordered $200 worth today. You're in desperate need of yarn in Canada. I'm in desperate need of yarn in Florida that I can go to a store to shop at and touch and feel. You know, it's potluck online. I mean, you guys only have what, Michaels? And it's kind of like that here now, because you have Michaels or Hobby Lobby, and Hobby Lobby doesn't carry any of the yarns that we use. You hang your swings on the little clothes hanger thing in the car. That's a cute place to hang them. I've seen them hanging in people's cars, so not you would think you'd see more than because of the amount that is being sold, but I have seen them hanging in the cars. If you sell yarn for $1, then people are going to want to buy our finished items for a penny. Nah, because the people that don't make these and they don't know what kind of yarn we're using, they won't know that we're getting it for $1. Nowhere but Walmart and Michaels to touch the yarn, and no brown yarn. Right? Right? Why is brown such a hard color for these guys to get right? Dollar Tree sometimes has small skeins of velvet chenille. Yeah. I have some of that, but I only use that for, like, doing the blush or the noses on the ends of the critters. It's about all I use that for. Okay, you guys, it is 8:42 and it's time to go. It's time to say goodnight. So, let's see. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mary Ellen, Sue Ellen. What? I don't remember their names. Jim Bob, Elizabeth. You know the show. Walmart is so much cheaper than Michael's for Bernat. Yeah, $3 difference, but you have to buy it when it's on sale from those other places. Good night, Elizabeth. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Hopefully Heather will be feeling okay next week to join me. And hopefully she's just feeling better when she gets up in the morning, period. So, good night.